Laws of Exponents 4.1 and 4.2, worksheet number 1. This worksheet is on the first two lessons that we did for Laws of Exponents. The 1 through 9 is on multiplying monomials, which was the first lesson we did. And then 10 through 15 is on powers and products, which was the second lesson we did. So I'm going to work through one problem from each section with you. I'm going to do number 9. It's the big one, so I'll help you with that one. Okay, so this is where we have to group everything off to the side. So we're going to start with our coefficients. So I have a -2. Oh, wait, before I even say that, the very first thing I did is I already put my 1s in. So you see, wherever I needed a coefficient or wherever I needed an exponent, I went ahead and put a 1. All right, so now I'm going to list all my coefficients. Got -2, I have another -2, +2, -1, +2, -1, -1, 3, and 1. So I'll list those off to the side. And they were -2, -2, +2, -1, 2, -1, -1, 3, and the last one is a 1. So let's just count to double check. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sets of parentheses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coefficients. All right, now there are 4 different letters. We've got W, X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to go in alphabetical order, starting with W. So I have W squared, W to the 4th, W to the 5th, W squared, W to the 4th, and W to the 1st. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 W's. So W squared, W to the 4th, W to the 5th, W squared, W to the 4th, and W to the 1st. Now my X terms. I've got X cubed, X to the 4th, X cubed again, X to the 1st, X to the 5th, and X to the 1st. So X cubed, X to the 4th, X cubed, X to the 1st, X to the 5th, X to the 1st. Now we'll do our Y terms. Y cubed, Y squared, Y to the 8th, Y to the 2nd, Y to the 6th, Y to the 1st. Y cubed, Y to the 2nd, Y to the 8th, then it'll be 2nd, 6th, and the 1st. Y to the 2nd, Y to the 6th, and Y to the 1st. Last, we will do the Z terms. So we have Z to the 11th, Z to the 9th, Z to the 7th, Z to the 1st, Z to the 10th, and z to the first. So z to the 11th, z to the 9th, z to the 7th, 1st, 10th, and 1st. Z to the 1st, z to the 10th, z to the 1st. All right, now that we have everything organized, now we can multiply to get our final answer. So if I take -2 times -2 times 2 times -1 times 2 times -1 times -1 times 3 times 1, I get -48. Now we're going to add up all our exponents. So what I just did there was I multiplied all of those numbers together. Let me try that again. I multiplied all of those numbers together to get my -48. Now I'm going to be adding all of these exponents. So 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 5 is 11, plus 2 is 13, plus 4 is 17, plus 1 is 18. So we've got W to the 18th. Now I'm going to add these exponents. 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 3 is 10, 11, 16, 17. So x to the 17th. Five and 8 is 13, 14, 15, 21, 22. Y to the 22nd. And then last but not least, the z. So 11 and 9 is 20, 27, 28, 38, 39. Z to the 39th. And that is it. That is how you do 1 through 9. Now, obviously, that's the one that took the most work and the most time consuming. So that was the hardest one to do, but that's what you should be doing for 1 through 8. Organize all your information off to the side, and then multiply the coefficients, add your exponents. For the bottom half, the first thing you want to do is off to the side put your coefficient raised to the exponent. For instance, in this first one, I'm going to take the 3 and raise it to the 5 off to the side. So I'm going to take 3 and in parentheses and put it to the 5th. For 11, I've got -2 raised to the 7th. For number 12, I've got 6 raised to the k power. For 13, -4 to the 5th. For 14, it's a +1 exponent. If you remember, we don't need to worry about +1 exponents, so I don't need to write anything for 14. 15, I've got -5, and raise it to the 3rd. Okay, so you would put those in your calculator, 3 to the 5th, and so forth, to get your coefficient. And then you're going to multiply the exponents. Now, I don't know if you can see very well, but I've got a line here, here, and here for 14, 13, 14, and 15. These answers are kind of long, so that's how I would suggest for 13, write it towards the bottom of the paper, 14, write it higher, 15, write it towards the bottom of the paper, so you have enough room to write each of these. I'm going to do number 14 with you. Okay, so we are multiplying exponents. Multiplying exponents. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 8z and multiply it times 4. 4 times 8 is 32, so I would have d to the 32z. Now I'm taking 8z times 7. 8 times 7 is 56, so this would be f to the 56z. Now I'm going to take 8z times 3x. 8 times 3 is 24. So this would be g to the 24. Now I've got an x and a z, so 24xz. 8 times 9 is 72. So h to the 72, and now I have yz. And then last, I'm going to take the 8z times the 11. 8 times 11 is 88, so this would be k to the 88z. And that is it for 14. So again, d to the 32z, f to the 56z, g to the 24xz, h to the 72yz, and k to the 88z. And that would be it for 14. All right. 10 through 15, done very similar. The only thing that's different with 10 through 15 is you also have these coefficients that you need to worry about out front. Put those in your calculator. Don't forget to use the parentheses. If you have any questions on this worksheet, let me know.